Welcome, dear students. Learn in Lockdown is an online learning program initiated by AKPCTA to compensate for the lost academic days due to COVID-19. I am Dr. Vidya from SN College, Kollam. I am dealing with the topic superconductivity from the paper Solid State Physics. Welcome, all of you. Superconductivity is one of the fascinating phenomena of physics. This is the first lecture of the session in which we are dealing with the definition of superconductors and its important properties. We all know that when a metal is cooled, its electrical resistivity decreases. This is because of the fact that as temperature decreases, thermal vibrations are lowered. Kamerlingh Onnes was a Dutch scientist working in this field. During one of his experiments, he found that the electrical resistivity of mercury vanished suddenly when the temperature is lowered to 4.2 Kelvin. This is a graph showing the variation of resistance with the temperature. For a normal metal, we can see that as temperature decreases, resistivity also decreases. In the case of a superconductor, when temperature is lowered, the resistance decreased and at a particular temperature it becomes zero. Thus, the phenomenon of losing electrical resistivity completely when cooled below a particular temperature is termed as superconductivity. The materials which show this phenomenon is termed as superconductors. They have zero resistance. In 1911, Kamerlingh Onnes discovered superconductivity. Now we shall discuss about the properties of superconductors. First one is critical temperature. It is the temperature at and below which a material behaves as a superconductor. It is also termed as transition temperature and represented by the letter Tc. Next is zero resistance. We have already said that superconductors has no electrical resistance. That is, there is no power generated on passage of electric current. The third property is isotopic effect. It is seen that transition temperature is inversely proportional to square root of isotopic mass of a superconductor. That is Tc equal to alpha into 1 by root m, where m is the isotopic mass and alpha is the isotope effect coefficient. This is a graph showing the variation of transition temperature and isotopic mass. As isotopic mass increases, transition temperature decreases. This is called an isotopic effect. Next one is critical magnetic field. It is the minimum magnetic field required to destroy the superconducting property at any temperature. It is represented by the equation Hc equal to H0 into 1 minus T by Tc the whole square, where H0 is the critical field at 0 Kelvin, T is the temperature below Tc and Tc is the transition temperature. Critical current. It is the minimum current that can pass through a superconductor without destroying its superconductivity. It is also termed as persistent current. It is the minimum current that a superconductor can withstand without destroying its superconductivity. Consider a superconductor of radius r. When a magnetic field H is applied to it, its critical current is given by the equation Ic equal to 2 pi r into Hc minus 2h. This relation is called the Silsby's rule. It gives the relation between Hc and Ic. Meissner effect is the signature effect of a superconductor. It was discovered by scientists Meissner and Oceanfield in 1933. It is the expulsion of magnetic field lines from the interior of a superconductor in its superconducting state. That is, magnetic flux inside a superconductor is zero. Figure shows an ordinary conductor and a superconductor. When a magnetic field is applied to an ordinary conductor, the field lines penetrate inside the material. In the case of a superconductor, you can see that the magnetic field lines passes through the surface of the superconductor, but it won't get penetrated into its body. When the temperature is increased above Tc, the magnetic flux lines penetrates inside the body of the superconductor. When the temperature is less than Tc, the flux lines are expelled from the body of the superconductor. This expulsion of flux lines from the interior of a superconductor at a temperature below Tc is termed as Meissner effect. Flux density B is related to the strength of the applied magnetic field H by the equation B equal to mu 0 into H plus M, where M is the intensity of magnetization. For a superconductor, we know that flux density inside the material is 0, that is B is equal to 0. Then this equation becomes H plus M is equal to 0 or M is equal to minus H. Therefore, M by H is equal to minus 1. We all know that M by H is termed as magnetic susceptibility of a material. The negative magnetic susceptibility implies that superconductor is a perfect diamagnetic material. This part is often asked in problem section also. It shows the Meissner effect exhibited by a superconductor. This is a superconductor. This is a magnet. The background shows the cryogenic liquid. We can see that the superconductor floats on the magnetic field. It never touches the magnet. This is the expulsion of flux lines from the superconductor, which is the Meissner effect. Penetration depth. It is seen that the magnetic field line does not drop to 0 inside a superconductor suddenly. It decays exponentially as the equation H equal to H0 e raised to minus x by lambda. The distance at which H becomes 1 by E times H0, or distance up to which magnetic field lines can penetrate in a superconductor, is termed as penetration depth. In the figure, this is the surface of a superconductor. As we move inside, the flux lines decays exponentially. Based on the Meissner effect, superconductors are classified as type 1 superconductors and type 2 superconductors. This is a graph showing the variation of type 1 and type 2 superconductors. For a superconductor, we have minus M proportional to H. This linearity is maintained up to Hc in the case of a type 1 superconductors. At Hc, the magnetization drops to 0 and thereafter it behaves as a normal material. While in the case of type 2 superconductors, M varies with H up to Hc1. Thereafter, it decreases slowly and reaches 0 at Hc2. So, type 2 superconductors have two critical fields, Hc1, which is termed as the lower critical field, and Hc2, which is termed as the higher critical field. Between Hc1 and Hc2, there is an intermediate state or an vortex region. The basic difference between type 1 and type 2 superconductors are: type 1 superconductor exhibits perfect and complete Meissner effect. They have only one critical field. Critical field value is very low. Current passes only through the surface. They are termed as soft superconductors. Examples are lead and mercury. In the case of type 2 superconductors, they do not obey Meissner effect completely. They have two critical fields, that is lower critical field and upper critical field. It has high values for critical fields. Current flows throughout the material. Presence of intermediate stage or vortex region can be seen. They are termed as hard superconductors. Normally, compounds show type 2 mechanism. Example, niobium germide. This is the end of the first session. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.